1. Good morning, golfers. Welcome to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio. Our YouTube and Facebook pages brought to us by Boyne Golf. Jerry Coyne is zooming into the polecat with the amazing Dan Pohl, or Spider-Man, as we like to call him.
Get it right. Hey, now, you're not probably going to tell the listenership and the viewership what happened, are you?
Well, we can do that. I mean, I'd rather talk about how, well you played in the pro yesterday. And were able to get in, as an old man, get in 36 holes, play under par golf, and then get back to the polecat.
I played my second and third rounds of the year in one day. And thank God we were on carts, because it was a long day. We actually, Jeff Roth and I have been playing in this thing for a long time. We've won it 3 times in a row earlier in our careers, obviously. But we went down and played 2 great courses, Orchard Lake Country Club down south near Detroit, and then Tam O'Shannon, which I had never played. And different styles of golf courses, different green configurations, those type of things. But real long day. Started at 9 o'clock. I actually left here about 5:30 and got home about 10 o'clock last night. So it was a long day for old polecat, but I feel pretty good. Played okay. Yeah, made some birdies and 1 eagle. So very happy about it.
Yeah. So, and you've had a lot of injuries. You had a couple surgeries again last year. So and you feel good the next day. That's the important thing.
Yeah, it's hard to get enthused when you're not feeling very well, and people always have asked me, this is supposed to be a mental game, and I said, it really is a mental game unless you aren't feeling very good physically. Then I'll guarantee you it is a physical game. But it was just fun to get out. Jeff Roth, we had 72 teams of the club pros from all over the state. I played with a couple of gentlemen from Ferris State, played with the couple of the assistants from Birmingham Country Club. So and saw a bunch of players that I hadn't seen a lot, don't see much of. Steve Brady, who was at Oakland Hills, Steve, and then George Bowman out of Oak Point or whatever it is down there. But anyway, just a lot of good people, and it's always fun to play and be around with Jeff. And we're getting a little old, though. He was one of my Arizona teammates, but he's a couple of years younger than me. So we ham and egged it a little bit, but just not enough. 10, so, yeah.
Well, JR, I'm sure was happy to see those Birmingham kids. That's where I know Jeff from originally. When he was at Birmingham Country Club, we were both kids then. And when I switch this up a little bit, one of the interesting components about the PGA is the 25, 26 club professionals that earned their way in playing out at Bandon Dunes a couple weeks ago. And I know JR's played in that event a number of times. Just that's how he got in.
Yeah, it's a very deserving, it's an honor for him, number one. The PGA is obviously a little different. We always recognize them as the shirt folders and everything else, but they are what make the business go. And, they don't get the accolades player-wise, but there's some great players across the board that get into this. So a lot of pressure coming in. I know Charlie Belgian. Charlie, he played on the tour for a long time, and he's had some substance abuse issues, which he talks about very openly. He's out of Phoenix, and he ended up bogeying the last hole to miss out, and there's a lot of pressure on you just when you're not used to playing. I noticed it even yesterday. I was trying to make putts for, not only myself, but JR. So it is a component that is always questioned, but I think every tour player that especially guys like Justin Thomas, who his dad, was in the PGA, recognize what it's all about and have no issues, no problems with the players being there, giving them an opportunity. And there's been some great stories through that. You go back to Oak Hill when was it Block?
Michael Block hit that hole in one. He was playing in the second to last group. Made a hole in one with Rory, and then made one of the greatest up and downs I have ever seen in my entire life on 18 to make it into the top 10. And then so he got an invitation to Colonial, and a lot of exposure to the PGA professionals when Block had such a great run there.
Yeah, and really nice guy. He's got great stories. They interview him. He's a good teller of that. And
Yeah, he
really, like
is.
I said, that's what it's all about. And like I said, the players that even we played with yesterday, it's been a long spring, as you know. I mean, the weather has not been conducive to getting out and doing much of anything. And so they're working on their shops and trying to get everything together. So it'll be interesting to see. We normally will see maybe one or two guys,
Make the
make the
cut.
cut and
Yep.
move forward, but it's all about, on this golf course, especially Aronimink, where they've done so many, I mean, great history there, number one. I
Yep.
was very good friends with Jay Siegel, and who recently passed away. I guess it's been a little bit now, but he
Last
he
year,
was
yeah.
he was
Mhm.
synonymous with Aronimink, and I actually was there before they did some transformation or redo of the golf course by Gil Hansen. I was doing television coverage in the mid '90s, and the USGA had come in with their package, and so NBC needed to do that. So I worked there for the U.S. Junior Championship, and so I recognize it when tree lines and everything else, and we know that they, took a lot of trees out and added a lot of bunkers. So
Ton of bunkers.
going to look a lot different than what I remember it anyway.
Well, getting back to making cuts at PGAs, you played in 9 of them. You made 9 cuts. So that doesn't stink. You always were a great major player, but as tell our listeners just a little bit about what makes the PGA Championship unique, Dan.
Well, I think, and again, we got to go back to in our era where it was played in late August, mid to late August, and we played at Southern Hills and Tulsa, and we played a lot of these Birmingham, Alabama,
Oak
and
Tree,
Shoal
yeah.
Creek and Oak
Yep.
Tree, and all these very hot, very humid time frames. Now in May, obviously, there's two things. You get towards the end of August, and even though it was the last major, a lot of guys are starting to wean down their schedule a little bit and maybe not playing as much. You got so many guys playing well right now. Now, getting back to me playing in the PGA, what I liked about the PGA is, the way it was set up was not. It was, Kerry Haig. He puts the players ahead of everything. He sets up golf courses to kind of fit each day's conditions and things like that, and can manipulate it around. Where sometimes, like a U.S. Open, they've got it set on how they want it to play, those type of
Yeah, they
things.
want to put the thumb on you.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Kerry understands that you've got a diverse group of individuals there. You got a lot of things going on. Great golf course. He's probably this week more concerned about the playability, because not many of these guys have played it, especially under tournament conditions. So you go all the way back to, Gary Player winning in '62 to get a major championship on the men's side. They've had other, championships there, but I always liked it because it was right out in front of you. I played well at a couple of different ones. In fact, the third at Atlanta Athletic Club got me into the Masters in '81 to play in the '82 Masters. So that kind of led to where I was at. And I had, I don't know, 2 or 3. I might have had 3 or 4 top
You
10s.
finished
I
in the
think.
top 10 a couple other times, and
Yeah.
in a 12th place finish as well. So your career at the PGA is pretty good. When Dan and I come back, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the playing field and how this golf course will play under the new conditions set up by Gil Hanse. All that and more here on Finding Fairways, brought to us by Bay Mills Resort and Casino and the Wild Bluffs Golf Course, here on Finding Fairways. 3, 2, 1. Time to check in with our gang up at Boyne Golf. Ken Griffin is joining me. Ken, the weather's been a little bit iffy, but the good days, we've got a lot of people on the courses.
Yeah, no, I mean it's early yet, but the weather looks to be turning as we get into next week,
Yeah.
and we're excited to have all 10 championship courses open now. Dunebray is probably a couple weeks away yet, but to have all 10 championship courses open, I don't think anybody else has that.
No, not around here. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
The pent up anticipation. When we were up there last week, even though it was only like 52, there was a ton of guys out there, golf teams playing, we got to go.
If you get a little bit of sunshine, it's amazing how much warmer it feels. Okay, that's all we need is give us a reason. Put a little sun on our backs and we're fine. So, and I'm hoping for good weather too this weekend at the PGA Championship. Coming up at Aronimink. So, we obviously it's PGA Championship week, so we have specials. We have specials at Crooked Creek for $90. People play the Northern Monument for $72 now. That is Monday through Thursday. It is limited time. It's 11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Okay. And you can play through June 5th, but you need to purchase it by May 19th.
There you go. That's the parameters. Unbelievable deals on some of your best courses. And you got a window to play it. You just don't have much of a window to book it.
Yeah, no, I mean we try and keep those high and tight, so to say, and then looking ahead, we're also really excited to host some of the best women golfers in the U.S. Not just watch the PGA Championship, but with the LPG Epson Tour coming in the middle of June, I think it's the 17th through the 21st. You have opportunities to play with those ladies, and you can watch them on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can play with them in the Pro-Am on Wednesday and Thursday. And there's still some more Pro-Am opportunities open for somebody that, you experienced it last year, what great golfers these women are.
Oh, it was the best Pro-Am I played in maybe ever. And I played in a few of them. It was just so well done. And the gals were so much fun to play with. Very, just were part of the team. So if you want to have, and the Pro-Am opportunities are not that pricey. So take a hard look at it before they're all gone.
Yeah, thanks. So, and we are still humbled, the USA Today award still is out there. We were the number 3 golf resort in the U.S. and, to be number 3 in the United States compared, the courses that we're on there, it's just great company that we're keeping. So.
Well, I mean, you guys are, like you said, how many other courses are 10 unique, distinct championship golf courses, and the short
one
course,
other one.
Well,
it's called Pinehurst. That's the only other one.
That's it. No, I mean, that is it. And, I've been to both places, and they are ultra comparable. And it's a little bit more achievable here in Michigan to play Boyne in our backyards.
Well, you have that, and I think we have a little better summer weather than they do, and longer days. So in the summertime, in the winter, I'd go down there. But in the summertime, I think I'd take Northern Michigan.
Absolutely. Ken, how do they book those great deals?
BoyneGolf.com. You can find out everything about the courses, the resorts, the lodges, the food and beverage, and find out the tee times, the tee sheets, and open book. You can take a look right there. You can call to book this year's, okay, because they might have to do some finagling to get you in there. Or you can actually call to book next year's if your group's ready to do it, because we opened up the tee sheets. We opened up the packages.
2027 already open. Holy cow! Let's get out. See you on the link super soon, Ken.
Looking forward to it, Jerry. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Easy peasy. Thanks for being. We adjust, right? We make it work.
Oh God, I mean, Cheryl's got me jumping through hoops the rest.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite, with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com, or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Welcome back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio and our Facebook and YouTube page. Jerry Coyne and Dan Pohl at the Polecat talking about, well, a pretty good showing for you in a career at the PGA. The score, trying to keep the scores super low is not they want the course to identify the best player without having to be penal, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right. Well, the interesting thing is, what's the name of your show is Finding Fairways. The interesting thing this week, will it be determined to have to find fairways, or will it be playable rough, playable conditions? We know that a Donald Ross course offers most of the difficulty up where? Around those greens.
Around the green,
in some cases, you want them to move up, or get into positions where they really have to be inventive, creative, all those things. And that's the one thing you hear is that they're going to have to be short game, if they're going to miss greens, and a lot of them will, not all of them, they're probably going to average somewhere in the 12, 11, 12 greens per round. Probably 13 might be, a good day, but they're going to have to be very creative. And so dependent upon hitting the fairway might be, as we all know, tour players don't mind being in sand. And by the addition of all these big bunkers, even though a lot of them are out of play and just kind of framing bunkers.
Well, but Dan, what was the number you said? What 146?
There have 174 bunkers on this golf course.
That's crazy.
And they're not small bunkers.
No.
Excuse me, but what will happen is the framing, if these guys will be, if they get some rain or get some kind of growth in those fairways, will it make them hit them a little bit better? I still think in these events the par threes dictate a little bit of it. You're gonna at a par 70, you got to remember, folks, I played the World Series of Golf at Firestone, and it was 7,200 yards par 70. We thought it was as long as heck. They're saying 7,400 yards, and it doesn't favor one long hitter or short
That's
hitter.
right.
So you'll see a lot of variations. You're going to see that board go like this. You see the Russell Henleys and stuff that hit a lot of fairways that can create some board watching, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the long hitters, even though if McIlroy and Cam Young and those guys and Scheffler drive it well, Schauffele, that's a big advantage coming into those little crown greens like that. So I'm more interested in how Kerry's going to set up the pin placements and see where some of these guys can bail, because they're gonna have to be creative for sure.
The original story that's coming out of here is that putting is always a premium. No matter what, you hear these stories. Well, he's been putting bad all year long, but he's leading in putting this year. Gee, I wonder why he's winning the tournament. Guys that make your putting stats are always going to mean anything, but you've got some guys that are primarily putting super well this year, like Akshay Bhatia, of course. Sam Burns is always in the top couple, and he's played pretty well this year. But the overwhelming favorite, betting favorite at least, is Scotty Scheffler, which you and I talked about before, is surprising at how much more of a favorite he is than Rory this week. I was shocked at that number.
Well, I think, when you look at Scheffler, he's just distance control. And when you get a Donald Ross course like this, you got to control the ball coming into those greens. So, he made 3-putt a couple times, but he's ranked second, I think, in putts per hole at 1.78. But what's interesting here is the Donald Ross. Everybody thinks of Pinehurst number 2 as a Donald Ross course. Totally different play around the greens. It's going to be longer grass. You're going to have to get down in there and let it release and do those things versus that hard pan lie that, when you remember Payne Stewart and all those guys, they were bouncing or putting less grind and bounce on their wedges and stuff so they could get on that hard pan lie. You're not going to see that here. This is going to be a little different play shape It might not be through the air as much because of the crowning, but you're going to see some interesting shots taken by these players based upon whether they short side themselves or whether they aggressive. That's why I think Scheffler's going to be, if you just go statistically, he's going to be he's going to be favored in almost every tournament he plays in. But you got so many good players playing good right now that it's very difficult. Cam Young, even though he played bad that final run, he's still the guy that can catch any of these guys at any time.
Well, Cam Young, he's kind of mirrored Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler had that great Ryder Cup, hadn't really won much. Then as soon as he came out of that, he's turned into the Scotty Scheffler, the #1 player in the world. Yeah. Cam Young had been kind of the same way. Then he's the only American that really played fantastic in this past Ryder Cup. And now he's on the rise. They play a pretty similar game. You're right. Matt Fitzpatrick is playing very, very well. And Rory, of course, he won the Masters when I don't think anybody thought of him really.
Yeah. Well, and again, we go back to, driving the ball is one thing, but the iron play is going to be the difference. Who can control that distance if they're in the rough or where they can leave it? I just think that, when you really critique most of these players, they're not that great of iron players overall. I mean, there's good ones, but there's not that many that control distance quite like Scheffler does. And so, again, if he hits plenty of fairways and can attack certain hole locations, but again, you're looking at 2 par 5 opportunities and then 540-yard par 4s and stuff. So you're gonna see some probably days one day where the guy really is on his game and next day he's kind of struggling. You might see a 66, 72, something like that. It's just depends on what this weather does, and it's all dictated. Any championship of this nature, especially in the spring, we talk all the time about your tee times. You'll see that they probably have come out, or is it late, early, late? And do you get the advantage? That's a big issue too.
You and I were talking before. I really like Justin Rose, at least from a betting standpoint. He won there in 2018. He's played really well in the majors the last couple of years, and he's plus 4,700. So you put $5 on that guy and win $250.
Well, and I think he would be on anybody's, just because of the way he's handled himself in the last events. He's just been a class act, and so is Fitzpatrick. I mean, when you look at what he's done, after the TPC, when Cam just said, he got beat. So there's guys out there that understand that might play okay, but somebody gets hot out there, just to shake their hand and say good job, because that's what Rose is all about. And I think everybody would be excited if he pulled off a major championship win for sure.
Yeah, it's as you pointed out a little earlier, this should be an explosive PGA with all the top players really coming in their own game. We'll see, Xander, it'd be nice to see him kind of shake off some rust and get into the mix. And then, the live guys who are going to be scrambling to try to find some place to play.
Well, I think they'll be okay. I think, if your career is based upon coming back on the PGA Tour, then you probably went over there to live for the wrong reason anyway. But, they've made so much money that it's not about that. It's just, can they come back and reestablish themselves in this game with the players that are out there? I mean, when you look at what's happened here, even in the last 6 months, and look at the winners and look who's been up there. I mean, Rayton, who had him winning last week? Before that, there's just guys that are coming out of the woodwork that are, really, really good players that aren't afraid to, to take it low or to be up there near the chase. So it's just the numbers game now of great players that are establishing themselves, and it's going to be more difficult each time, as Brooks Koepka has found out. I mean, this game is still got to be strong. I mean, it's not like your game just disappears. It's just the competition forces you to do maybe a little bit more than what you were anticipating, and he can't just work his way back in, even though he's certainly trying, but his game doesn't appear to be hurting as much as just maybe his mental focus and trying to get back into all that.
That's another discussion for another time, Dan. I would love to jump into that. Maybe we'll have you on in the next week or so, because that seems to be the thing that is missing from these live guys, is the competitive fire that is not part of their game. But we've got a segment that we got to get out of here, and I know you got to go and probably get in a bunker and start raking it.
Well, I think they're used to listening to the songs and doing all the stuff out in the stands, and so maybe they need some music to lighten their lives up. But
I don't think the PGA Tour is going to start pumping in the music.
I don't believe so. But always good to be with you. Hopefully we'll get together.
All right, Dan Pohl at the Polecat. They're open for business. So play this wonderful golf course Dan designed, and Danny, we'll be back with you soon.
You got to bring the sunshine down to us, will you?
Yeah, we need some sunshine. Back after these on Finding Fairways on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by Bay Mills Resort and Casino.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.
Grandview Golf Club in Kalkaska has set the standard for the best value golf in northern Michigan. Grandview has all the amazing golf vistas you expect in the pricey resorts without the pricey. Incredible season membership rates and ladies and men's leagues are now forming. Visit GrandviewGolfNorth.com to play your new favorite track. The newly renovated clubhouse with full bar and simulators is open and makes Grandview Golf Club an unforgettable golf experience. Call 231-258-3244 to play today.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite, with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com, or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Welcome back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio, our Facebook and YouTube page. Jerry Coyne is at Black Bear Golf Club in Vanderbilt with Olivia Smith. Good morning.
Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Golf season is up and running, and it's not the greatest weather when we're taping here today, but you still have those hardy northern Michigan golfers out there.
We sure do. We have a few out there today. Yes, this weather needs to kick rocks, and we need to get some sunshine.
It looks like, we're taping on Wednesday. Thursday looks like it's going to be sunny. Yep. But you have the women's league tonight, and I was talking to Dave, and they're all going to be out there tonight.
I guess we have some diehards out there for sure.
A lot of people now playing in your men's and ladies leagues, especially since all the work you've done to the golf course, and everybody's having a great time.
Yeah, we've definitely increased our league this year from last year, which is a really good thing.
Yep.
For us anyways. Some people may not like it being so big, but hey, I'm happy.
Part of league is socialization, and the more people, it's a great way to meet new people, new golfers. You end up having new golf partners and finding out about, charity events and things like that. I love league play.
Yeah, we this winter we introduced our indoor simulator league.
Right.
And that went over really well. I think we had 36 guys in it, and hopefully next year
That's huge.
Yes, and I'm hoping next year we have more than that. I think we will.
Well, you've got the two sims, and it's a great setup. But, with all the other renovations and changes that you and Rob made here, you've got the great bar restaurant in the bourbon room that we're sitting in, and guys and ladies, if you like bourbon,
yep.
What do you got? You're up to like 68 different bourbons.
Oh no, I bet you we're at over 100.
Wow.
We have over 100 bourbons for sure. Yeah, we're constantly trying to find new ones.
I guess I don't.
Yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot of bourbons for sure.
I guess so. Look at this. This is 2 pages, people.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we this year we're doing a steak and bourbon dinner with golf. So if you come out and you golf around, you can get a round of golf and a steak and bourbon dinner for $100. So we've been trying to push that a little bit this year.
I saw you also have just the standalone, which is what, $65 for the
$60 for a standalone steak and bourbon dinner. You get a flight of 4 different bourbons.
Yeah.
And that's been a big hit. People have really liked that. We try to book them all right here in our bourbon bar. If we have too many, we will overflow into our dining area, but we like to keep it more intimate and nice right here in this bourbon bar.
Is that one particular night you do that, or that's available anytime?
It's available anytime. We
Wow.
just ask for people to call ahead and make reservations for that one for sure. So but that's so that's a little new this year, and then we have a lot going on outside this year too.
Yeah, go ahead. A rundown. You were really excited for people to find out exactly what you've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how exciting it is for everybody else, but we were so busy last year that there was a couple times we ran out of some parking. So we have expanded our parking lot this year, so we have a lot more parking now. We also have put
That's a great problem to have, by the way.
It is a great problem to have. We also put up our new pole barn for all of our carts.
Right.
So people will see that. There is some construction going on outside. We apologize. There's kind of a mess out there. We've got some new asphalt going in around the clubhouse area. We've taken down the hill in the back by the patio so people can actually see a little better onto the green from the patio.
Yeah.
And we also are putting our ponds back between holes number 3 and 4. So you'll go out there and you'll see that there's some construction going on out there as well. It does not get in the way of the golfers, but we're hoping to have those ponds in by the end of the summer.
I remember those ponds, so that's going to beautify and make it a little bit more challenging.
A little bit more, yeah. We are not going to have the river in there. There will not be the river connecting the two. We filled that in. That'll be that'll be part. Some of it'll be part of the fairway. We've widened the fairway on, I believe, number 4. So.
One of the things that really took off last year with your first full year of ownership was a lot of events. And when we talked to Dave a couple weeks ago, you've already got some charity events and some other things.
Yes.
Any that you're really excited about?
So we landed the State Eagles tournament this year. It's 2 weekends in July.
Wow.
So that is going to be a really big one for us.
That's going to be, close to 100 players, I think.
I'm sure, or more, but it does run 2 weekends in a row.
Right.
It is in the middle of summer, but we do still have some golf on those weekends, but not until later in the afternoon.
Understandable.
What else we got? There's a lot. We have the Right to Life outing. That one's coming up in June. There's just a few. We've got other tournaments going on and outings going on too. We have our first one this weekend. That's the Elkhorn outing. It's not really a charitable event. It's more of a fun event.
Yeah.
My husband and I are actually putting on our first outing, which will be May 30th. And we belong to a big group up in the UP, a Rusty Zipper Camp. So
I heard about this Rusty Zipper Camp.
Yeah. So we are going to be having an outing here, and we are going to raise funds for the Chippewa Snow Chasers and the Brimley VFW. The reason we choose those is that's part of where we
yeah, I know where your little camp is. Yeah.
Right. And we do a lot for the veterans. We do a veterans ride. We don't actually put that on, but one of the guys at camp puts that on. And we are a stop on the map for that veterans ride, so we just thought we would do something for that.
Let me ask you, Olivia, so there's so many golfers and groups that come up. Do you still have room on your calendar for, if somebody's watching this from Grand Rapids, they go, yeah, I want to get 25 or 35 guys up for a group. You still?
Oh yeah, we do have some spots still open. Weekends are starting to book up really fast. So
yeah.
I do tell people, if you want to golf on the weekend, you better be getting your tee time in. During the week, a little more flexible, to do bigger groups like that. We for sure can do that.
I know, with the Mecca and everything else, there's a lot of people that'll play here and then maybe Mishaway and the tribute course or whatever. So for decades, my first exposure to Gaylord was, playing up here with a group of guys.
Yeah, we do the Loon. Usually they'll send us some groups of guys that'll play the Loon.
Or gals,
there.
right? You
Or
get more gals
yeah.
groups, right?
And then we also get some groups from Otsego Club. Tracy
Right.
at Otsego Club is really good. So we've got a big group that comes in every year. I think it'll be their second or third year here. They'll be here in a couple weeks. So yeah, we work well with everybody in the golf mecca.
So people need to go to golfblackbear.com, right?
It is actually blackbeargolf.net.
Black Bear Golf.
Yep, and you'll see a little bit new layout there. We have a new website format. I've got a young lady that's been working on that for me. She's done an amazing job.
So that was flipped around because
So it's blackbeargolf.net.
.net.
Yep.
So check that out. Yeah, the all new website, a lot more photos showing, and it's about time because everybody's been talking about in the Gaylord Mecca area how much time, effort has gone into this golf course, and it's really paying off and really showing up so well.
Thank you. Yeah, we've definitely worked hard to get to where we're at. So.
All right, Olivia Smith, thanks for being part of Finding Fairways. Each and every week we run a little bit of info from this great golf course on our show. We'll be back after these words from our fine partners on Finding Fairways, brought to us by BoyneGolf.com.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com. Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Let's check in with our good friends at Bay Mills Resort and Casino on the Wild Bluffs Golf Course. Matt Phipps sitting in his pro shop because the weather is not really our friend quite yet, is it, Matt?
No, not yet. It's pretty dreary up here. Rain and a little cooler still. Supposed to warm up next week, though.
Yeah, I know we're going to be open this weekend, and it looks like the weather's actually going to get warmer. So I'm sure you have a lot of people that are going to play in your day after opening scramble.
yeah, we got a pretty good field there. That's weather looks okay for that day, actually.
It does.
The one good day next week. So.
But I mean, as the extended forecast, it looks like we're going to get into the 60s pretty regularly. And hey, if there's sunshine and it's over 50, I know you got golfers on the course.
Absolutely. We have a lot of Canadian business, so they if it's above 45, they're good to go. So.
Yeah, I've seen it here. I mean, the pent up demand at the beginning of the year, like the hell, I got to get out and play.
Yeah, hey, I'm the same way. Been cooped up all winter, so I'm ready for it too.
Is the range open?
It will be Friday, yeah. Range.
Okay, good. And then I do want to circle back to the one man, one woman scramble event. The Solo Cup.
Yep.
That's in June.
July the 18th.
July.
Yep. July 18th.
You're starting to get some action on that.
Yeah, getting getting a couple signups for that. So we had.
I mean, I know it's a little ways out, but I have a funny feeling that, you know, when the season gets moving a little bit, people start visiting the club and online a little bit more for golf. That thing's going to go boom.
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually going to have to limit it to 60 players is what we're going to do, so that we can, you know, get everybody through 18 and then through another 9 without being out there too awful long.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to play in a solo scramble event, a tournament with yourself and yourself only, other than a club championship, this is the event for you.
That's right. Nobody to blame but yourself for your score.
Yeah, but you've got
no excuses.
Guy 1 and guy 2, or gal 1 and gal, you know, it'll
That's right.
prove the point, right?
That's right.
Mr. 2 is always better than Mr. 1. I don't know. We'll find out.
That's what they say. I think it'll really. I'm looking forward to playing that. I've been golfing for 35 years, and I don't think I've ever played a one-person scramble with myself. So I'm curious to see what I'll shoot myself. I think it'll all come down to
right. Not when it meant anything. I said not when it means anything.
Yeah. Not when it means anything. Of course.
Yeah, I've played plenty of scrambles with myself and always hated my partner.
Yeah, he always let me down. Always.
That's right. Matt, what's the phone number of the Pro Shop?
906-248-5860.
And Bay Mills Resort on the web.
BayMillsCasino.com.
BayMillsCasino.com. Check everything out. They got great images of the golf course. If you haven't been up there, Matt, I will see you in another week.
All right. Sounds good, Jerry.
All right. We will back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Finding Fairways, brought to us by Bay Mills Casino and Wild Bluff Golf Course. All right, partner.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, our YouTube and Facebook pages. Jerry Coyne is at the Iron Pig Smokehouse in Gaylord with the proprietor, Ian Murphy, on a beautiful day for golf. It's actually, we're taping this on Wednesday. It's the weather's clearing tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like I've said that about 5 times already, just in the month of May.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. We're sitting roadside here. You might be able to hear some of the traffic.
Yeah, I mean, we'll flash this at the end of the show. The outside decking and the outdoor pavilion and where you have the food truck and the patio out here. There's so many great options to experience the Iron Pig.
Yeah, and I love that you use the word experience, because that's really what we're going for now. Is it's not just a barbecue, but it's that whole it's that whole experience. With this new location that we have here on Old 27, you know, we're taking over an old restaurant, our buddy's old restaurant here. They did an amazing job building this place out with the pavilion next door. We're renovating the parking lot this year, nice big bright sign so everybody can see where the place is. So we're doing a lot of upgrades, but experience is really what we're going for. The backyard with the food truck. We're working on doing a farmer's market, free family movie nights on Fridays.
I love that. The family movie night inside the pavilion. The pavilion here is dynamite, and then you're going to have live music every Friday.
Live music every Saturday, because they have music downtown here, Gaylord, every Friday night. So we don't want to compete with that, because they do a fantastic job down there with that. So we're going to do Saturday nights for about 20 weeks, probably actually a little bit longer than that. We're going to go into October with live music.
And those are going to be, that's free live music.
Free live music, yeah. We don't want to charge. I mean, it's like you get charged enough these days for everything. It's like, come out, have a good time. The food truck will be open out back. There's a bar out back, plenty of parking. Like I said, we're going to be redoing this parking lot here. So
last year when we had you on the show, you just moved into here and you put together a golf event that turned out to be pretty popular.
Yeah, so we're going to do that again, I think July 3rd, that Friday.
Yeah.
They're actually going to be doing, we're sitting in the perfect spot for fireworks right here on Otsego Lake. This year, we're playing the Loon. We've got a great partnership with those guys over there. So we played the Ridge last year. This year we're going to play the Loon, which is a really fun course to play.
Yep.
Not only that, it's a very female-friendly course to play.
Yeah, it is. It's not too long. I mean, if you got your driver working, it's driver wedge everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then you're going to be in the trees and you're going to be wedging out. But I love that course. Great greens, always in really good shape.
Yep.
And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. So you do your event, and everybody comes back to the pig.
Exactly, and it just happens that this year we lined up Friday with the Loon.
Right.
So then we'll come back here, we'll have a little party, hand out prizes, and then fireworks on Otsego Lake or that Friday night this year.
So yeah, 3-4.
Yeah.
The and our partnership goes way back here with Finding Fairways and the Iron Pig. Originally downtown, you've changed that concept a little bit, but with so many golfers at the coming into Gaylord for the Mecca, and you guys have become the unofficial 19th hole. So many groups coming in here for dinner or after their rounds. And the BS, the chatter is the best part.
Yeah, some of the resorts probably don't like to hear that, but we definitely are that 19th hole. Again, there's like 30 golf courses within 30 miles of here.
Yeah.
So we definitely cater to those guys and gals. The pavilion, we do private groups out there, the backyard area with the food truck that's all connected. You can bring in 12, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, your whole outing if you want to do something. Reach out to us. We're always willing to do fun stuff.
Well, on top of that, you cater to those groups. I mean, I remember a few years ago, we had an appointment, and you're like, I can't do it now. I'm making breakfast for 47 guys.
Yeah.
And I'm taking it to them.
We definitely fill a need that's out there.
Yeah.
And we've been rewarded year after year with the same groups that keep coming back to us year after year. And partly as we understand why. I mean, resort living, if you will, can get expensive.
Yeah.
And Iron Pig is very affordable. We will come in, you got 20, 30 guys, whatever it is, you know you're going to be finishing off the course roughly this time. Usually what we have them do is give us a 30-minute heads up.
Right.
So in that 16th, 17th hole, they'll give us a call and say, hey, we're going to be at the condo at this time, whatever it is. Boom, we come in, set everything up, see you later, enjoy yourselves.
Well, especially barbecue is tailor-made for that experience.
Yep.
You know, the pulled pork, the ribs, all of your outstanding barbecue stuff. Nothing travels better.
Yeah,
and
or
nothing
reheats.
I was going to say, nothing saves better, you know?
Yeah.
You want to get up in the morning and arm wrestle me for the last 5 ribs? We can do that. Or show up the next morning, you know, with pancakes, scrambled eggs, sausage, and all.
That's the other thing too. Not to cut you off, but we are going to be we're doing breakfast here 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We are planning to roll out our breakfast buffet. That's only Sundays right now. We're going to be running that through the entire weekend. And then once the weather really turns and summertime hits, we're planning on doing breakfast buffet 7 days a week. So if you're in a hurry, run into your tea time, swing by here, grab breakfast, in and out, boom, you're on your way.
We used to love that. There used to be a number of courses here that did that, but they just, you know, because of staffing issues or whatever. And you think about, you said, you know, within 30 miles. I mean, there's 12 courses within 6 miles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to slide into the Pig, you know, breakfast is 15 minutes total with your coffee, your buffet, and then, because, you know, there's a time and a place on the golf course for a brat or a dog, but wouldn't you rather, you know, have a breakfast and then either you come back here or you go to one of the other great restaurants here in Gaylord, and you know, you don't have to have a hot dog after every round of golf.
As somebody that's been in that business for the better part of 2 decades, not every golfer is that, how do I want to say, prepared. So getting some protein in your stomach early before a round is pretty crucial to having a good day. So if you're in a hurry, definitely.
Well, especially if it's Saturday or Sunday, and you know you're with some of your guys or with your gals, and you got after it.
Yeah.
You know, you better get something in your stomach, because
so true.
I mean, there are legendary stories of I've been involved with them where a guy just had an expurgatory moment. On the back of the tee.
And a Snickers bar from the
Snickers
from the Bev cart.
That's right. No, or a protein shake from the gas station is not going to cut the mustard. Murph, the website.
IronPigSmoke.com.
IronPigSmoke.com. Call them up. They will give you no quotes on any group size for any to cater your event. Your golf trip up here to the Mecca, or if you call ahead, you can get
your big group in
Yeah.
here. There's private rooms here that'll
Yep.
hold a group of 30. And if you catch it on a Friday night, you get free entertainment to boot.
And we love those kinds of things because, again, it's all about the experience. And if we can extend that day that you've had at the Loon, the Lake, the Ridge, or on Seagull Club, Treetops, wherever you happen to be at, if we can extend that experience to here where you're having your award ceremony or you get to talk trash a little bit longer for the next day's rounds.
Talk trash.
Definitely. At least at my group anyways.
Or talking about this particular TV and radio show. That's going to do it for us here on Up North Sports Radio's Finding Fairways. As we like to say, find a fairway of your own, stick a peg in the ground, and pound it down the middle. We'll be back with you next week in short sleeves, I promise.
Please, for Christ's sakes. It looks like today's the last day.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.